We're looking at figure 10.1 on page 190 of your textbook. This figure shows how a liability law will work to internalize the cost of pollution for the company. So on the vertical axis, I have my cost, a little zero to show the origin, and then I have on the horizontal axis emissions. If a company is not forced to pay the damages of what it pollutes, or it's forced to emit less, it would emit a maximum amount of, let's say, for example, E1. This is the maximum if they don't have to pay anything for the emissions that they would emit. Now, in this case, if they pay E1, we know the damage curve looks something like this, the marginal damage curve, meaning if they emit unrestrainedly, then the total amount of damages to society would look something like this. It would be this area over here. So this whole area would show the damages to society, because the total damages is the area under the marginal damage curve. Now, obviously, this is a lot of damages to society, so we might say, let's force the company to pay these damages with liability laws, meaning we get laws in place that internalize the externality of the pollutant, meaning previously they didn't have to pay for these emissions, now they have to pay. And the moment that happens, a company has the incentive to emit less and abate. So abatement is the cost we pay to clean up. So initially the marginal abatement cost is quite low, and then as I get closer to zero emissions, the marginal abatement cost gets really high. So if I decrease emissions from unrestrained to with just a little bit, then the cost of abatement is quite low. So this cost low. But if I want to decrease it from already very few emissions to almost zero, then the cost is very high. Right, let's just take all those lines away. So in this case, this company would, if let's say we are over here, if they decrease emissions from E1 to E0, then the damages would still be quite high, because this part here would be the total cost they pay for abatement, and then this area over here would be the total damages. So it's still quite high. So they can decrease this area by moving, let me show you with the red, by moving this line over here to the left. So if they move it all the way here, then the only damages they have to pay is this area here, and the only abatement cost they have to pay, although larger, is this area over here. Can you see this is a smaller area? So for them to pay the lowest amount possible, they would have to decrease their emissions until E star, the efficient level. Now this kind of happens automatically when you have these liability laws in place, meaning you don't have to go to each company and tell them to get to E star. They would automatically move to E star if the laws, the liability laws, are in place. This is an important graph. You should be able to draw it. But more importantly, you should be able to understand it and explain it. So make sure you understand what every aspect is for.